Austin City Limits Radio. He is Jack Johnson. She is Paula Fuga. And through the magic of Zoom, we are together. I've been saying for the last couple of, week and a half, 2 weeks that these days, this last year and a half of doing things by Zoom are just about over. But you guys have a decent excuse being in Hawaii. So there is a new Paula Fuga record. That record is called Rain on Sunday. And you guys have been friends and collaborators for some 20 years. Is the key to the chemistry that you've been friends for 20 years?
I think so. I think that the music connected us.
I feel like the key to chemistry.
Oh, we got a delay. Sorry, Paula. You go.
Well, I feel like the chemistry is, because Jack's a good guy. He has a good heart, and I feel like energy attracts like energy. So I feel like, we're like two peas in a pod in that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the music is kind of what the friendship's based on. And then now the music continues because we have such a strong friendship. The first time I heard Paula's voice, I was just blown away. And then I was lucky enough to be in the studio so long ago now, but maybe a week or two later, felt like. Paula's good with dates. Maybe you can remind me, Paula. And then, but yeah, we just started making music and never stopped ever since.
I mean, Jack, you're such a champion of the culture of Hawaii, this distinct culture of which she is a cultural treasure. This is part, although it is a friendship, this is also part of your effort to expose the culture of Hawaii, which has been a career-long effort.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I grew up in a place that has such a rich tradition of music, of so many things, but music which represents culture and is a way to, spread. And so we were talking earlier, Paula and I, just about the musicians here. A lot of people don't necessarily grow up here, and we both grew up listening to a lot of Stevie Wonder, different music that we share, a lot of different musicians as well. But here in Hawaii, we have folks like Gabby Pahinui, who for me, growing up, is one of my mom and dad's favorite musicians, and I would hear his music all the time growing up. And so that slacky style of playing guitar, it's always been in the background. And then as I got older, I met a friend, Kavika Kahiapo, who taught me to play slacky and different tunings. And so the music has always been something that has inspired my own music in a lot of ways. But you're right, it's being here and growing up and hearing this amazing tradition, which is Hawaiian music, which at this state has a lot of different branches. It's a living culture, which is really important to acknowledge. So there's a lot of different styles of Hawaiian music now. There's traditional Hawaiian music that we listen to, and then there's also people like Paula who are keeping the tradition alive. She has a lot of Olola Hawaii, the Hawaiian language, in her music today, but it's also influenced by international things, different styles of music, reggae and folk music and all that. So anyways, yeah, I feel definitely honored to help spread that tradition and to help share and expose great musicians like Paula, John Cruz, different friends, Kavika Kahiapo.
Paula, is that something that weighs on you, that you want to preserve the culture, but also want to make modern, relevant music, and doing those things at the same time is probably harder than it looks?
Well, I don't really think about it like that. I just make the music that's inside of me. And I think I have my cultural foundation are the values that I have in my heart, like respect, showing love to people, being kind, and taking care of the earth, like malama. Like these are the values that were instilled in me ever since I was a little kid. And I feel like that that's just what I have inside of me, the foundation that I have inside of me. So I don't really I don't really think about it too much. You know, I just, the music is so different the way that it comes to me and through me. And I don't really think about that either. I just kind of like let it happen. But I think it's really cool. And I'm super lucky because I don't have any, not limited to like one style of music or one genre. You know, my mind is kind of like, I don't have any horizons when it comes to writing. And I definitely, I don't know, man. I just like, it just, I write, I feel like some of my songs have a little bit of bluegrass in it. You know, I feel like, you know, that all of those different things. Like, I just love music. And I never knew genres until I got to college. And then I realized that, you know, there were all these different genres of music and they had specific names. And of course I realized that I can pick them all out individually, but music was just music to me. And growing up, I never saw any boundaries or lines for the different types of music. And I think I'm really lucky to have that kind of perspective.
Jack, honoring the earth is right at the top of your values pyramid. As we reemerge, as we go back into society, has the pandemic changed the environmental picture, the way that maybe we go back into society, different people with different values, and maybe value the environment more or treat it differently? Where do we go next in terms of thinking about the environment?
Sure. Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I give my humble perspective, but until we all experience it and see what happens, then we'll know. But I think you're correct, at least in my mind, that there is a lot of potential for that. I know here in Hawaii, we experienced, there was a moment during the pandemic where there was, it was harder to go shopping, like for everybody, but also being here, a lot of our food is shipped in. It's a unfortunate fact that 90% of our food is shipped in to a place that is so, you know, can grow so much of our own food, but we're shipping in 90% of it. And so when that happened it slowed down, people started being able to support local farmers even more than before. And they, you know, had that opportunity for CSA boxes. And that is something I hope we hang on to. I know a lot of the local farmers here are trying to figure out ways that can last. It's not just a moment of, okay, everybody was scared on how they're going to get their food, so suddenly we got a lot of support. How do we continue that? How do we keep that connection between the farmers and the people? And so those are the kind of things I hope will carry on. I mean, we'll see when we tour again how many of the things that we were working on, like you know, reusable cup programs, how many of those kind of things are going to have hiccups? How much were we going to be able to expand on what we were doing before? Your guess is good as mine. You know, I heard all those same stories from different people in different areas when everything slowed down and there wasn't so much human impact, about the dolphins coming into, you know, places, Venice. And I was hearing all those same kind of stories. So those are things that give you hope. But at the same time, I'm not unrealistic about the fact that everybody might go right back to business as usual and everything will feel about the same, moving in a very exponential growth towards, you know, overwhelming the earth and its resources.
Before we go, let me get you to guess again on something. You're in sort of a unique position to handicap our chances at the Olympics should they happen in terms of surfing. So most of us know about John Florence, but who else should we be looking at from that team?
Well, so I don't know how much you follow, but John, who is amazing, and you're right, he's the one right now. He just got a really bad knee injury. Oh. And and he's a really good friend of mine, and he hopefully he just got a surgery on the knee, and hopefully he's gonna heal up fine. The other good friend is Kelly Slater, who's been, you know, thinking about the Olympics for a long time. He's the next in line. There's Kolohe, Andino, John. Both Kolohe and John are hurt right now. So it's actually an interesting question because nobody's quite sure who's going to end up going as far as those three guys, or maybe even a fourth one.
Well, Rain on Sunday is the record. If Ever is the song. Ben Harper also joins Paula Fuga and Jack Johnson on that one. And we appreciate you being here. You're long overdue, both of you, an appearance in Austin. So there's that.
Yes, can't wait.
People have used the pandemic in record numbers to move to Austin, and we've got a Wave Park and Willie Nelson here for you. So
I've
think
heard about that. Yeah, definitely.
Just consider it.
Yeah,
Also,
we'll do. But yeah, Paula, you got to come and do it. It's good fun. We're gonna go do it
Hawaiian
together.
Airlines just started a direct flight.
Look at that. There you go. So
Sorry.
you have no excuses then. All right. Thank you both, Jack Johnson, Paula Fuga. Thank you. And
yeah, thank you.
have a good one. Thanks.